What's holding you back? Holding you back from touching the sky? What's holding you back? You gotta fly like an eagle and go high. What's holding you back? Holding you back from touching the sky? Oh, holding you back. You finally gotta reach for the sky. I was born to succeed, not to be a spoke in the wheel. Told myself there's more to this than just waking up when I feel. So I made a commitment to turn my earnings up. Couldn't see myself as an employee that still couldn't. Looked in the mirror, saw a spark in my eye. Knew I had to hustle and stop living a lie. I packed my dreams in a suitcase, took the first train. I'm headed for the horizon with success is no doubt.
Greetings and welcome to another edition of What's Holding You Back. My name is Rob McCray from the Business Building Network, and I am so grateful to be with you one more time on this wonderful Wednesday afternoon, early evening, and we're going to have a phenomenal topic of discussion for today. And I'm already seeing a lot of good feedback and comments from this particular topic, excuse me. So I can rest assured that this is going to be a very impactful discussion that we're going to have today. So please, by all means, get your friends all together. Let us all come on board and share our comments and feedback on this particular topic, as we're going to have a wonderful time this afternoon. So our topic of discussion is going to be, are you holding yourself back so that others can shine? Yes, this is going to be a very interesting conversation for today. And from what I'm seeing, a lot of you have been experiencing some of this in your own dealings and relationships. So we're going to talk about this and talk about some of your experiences and what we can do to kind of put you on the right track. So to make sure that we're not necessarily outshining other individuals, but making sure that we're coming up and shining together as one. For we never want to put out or dim the light that God has exposed and given unto us. We never want to block any of those gifts. So yes, we're going to have a wonderful discussion, and I'm looking forward to seeing all of your comments for today. So please, as you're jumping on board, please leave us a comment. Let us know where you are tuning in from, as we have a couple of people already have joined in. So let me say greetings to my beautiful wife, and she is Sister Althea. Blessings unto you, and thank you so much for joining us. We also have Sister Yvette Bolden from Bold Nutrition Consulting, and she is jumping on with us this afternoon as well. And we also have the one and only my pastor, Pastor Fred Pinnock from the CEA Dominion Worship Center. So greetings and blessings unto you all, and very much looking forward to this discussion for today. Yes, as this is one that is very thought-provoking, and it is something that we really need to discuss and bring forth some clarity on some of these situations in which many of you may be enduring or have been through at some point in time in your life. So before we get into it, we always like to start off by sharing a word of inspiration that is in touch with our topic of discussion. So let us do that to start off our discussion for today. So I'm just going to bring up my slide here, and let us read this inspirational word. And it says, let your light shine so bright that it illuminates the path for others to come out of darkness. Yes, let your light be that shining star that will be the gateway and the path to open up doors and give others access and take them out of that darkness in which they may have been in. So, yes, that is a very, very powerful word. I'm just going to read it one more time. Let your light shine so bright that it illuminates the path for others to come out of darkness. Yes, I love that right there. Yes, that is truly a wonderful, wonderful word right there. So, yes, let us all take heed to that word. Be that light that shines so bright that it will illuminate the path for others and bring them out of darkness. All right, so let us get into our topic of discussion for today. But before we do, I just want to ask each and every one of you that are on board with us this afternoon so far, have you ever felt as if you were in a place where you felt like you had to um, remove yourself from the forefront or take a step back so that you didn't take up the spotlight when it was time for others to shine? Have you ever had that type of experience, or have you ever felt like that in any part of your life? So, what are some examples of this? So, for instance, you may feel like in the workspace, you don't want to apply for a promotion because you don't want your other coworkers to look bad, or they get the feeling that they're going to start to talk about you in a negative way because you're now in a position of authority and they might act different towards you. So you don't take or you don't apply for that position because you have feelings and reservations of how your coworkers or your peers are going to feel about that, right? Another thing is you don't showcase your true talents because you might feel as if it's going to make someone else look bad or inadequate in what they are doing. Another thing is you might be holding back on some of your ideas that you have, and you want to see things being implemented, but you choose to refrain from sharing those comments and ideas because you don't want others to have a negative opinion or feel some type of way about what you are bringing to the table, right? You tend to downplay your accomplishments, pretending that you don't know something when in actuality you know exactly what the answer is, but you want to let others answer that question, or you don't want them to feel bad or ashamed that they don't know the answer, so you don't try to answer the question for yourself. And a big one is when talking about in relationships with your spouse, you stand in the background so that your spouse or significant other can garner the attention. And I see this happen a lot, especially with our ladies that are in the audience with us today. So, ladies, a lot of times I know you want the man to take the lead. You want him to be at the forefront, and as well he should, because the man is the head of the family and he is supposed to be in that leadership role. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to dim your light or you have to take a back seat. You're there to complement each other. So why not step to the forefront, step to the side so you can be side by side, because two lights are going to illuminate the light more than just one. So why not step up, be together, shine and unite as one, and make that light shine so eloquently that it just glows and takes over the entire room. So you don't have to step to the background. You can both stand there and shine and complement together as one. So yes, We have to look at that from a different perspective and a different mentality. You don't necessarily have to play the back. We can stand together and shine as one. So that's the initiative that I'm trying to put forth or convey with this particular topic that we're talking about today. All right. So another thing that I see some people doing, um, avoiding success, and they don't want to overshine some of their families and their friends and people within their inner circle because they're not in a position where they are seeing a lot of success for themselves. And when someone else comes out and they share some of their accomplishments, some people might start to feel bad and look at you in a different type of way just because they haven't elevated themselves and taken that to that next plateau. So you can't, diminish yourself, your accomplishments, being that you feel like it's going to make someone else feel bad. No, let that be an inspiration unto others so we can step our game up, right? And try to be where you're at so we can all excel and climb together. So that is the the narrative that we want to push. We really want to put you in a place where you feel like you're going to be an inspiration not to unto others, and not someone that's going to make others feel bad about themselves or feel inadequate, because that's not the point and purpose. It's all to help each other to shine and excel and help us all get to a better place. All right, see, we have a couple of comments coming in, so let me take them real quick before we go on. Okay. All right. Let's see how we have Sister Robin. Blessings, my sis. Good to have you with us. Yes, we're just starting off with our discussion for today. And it is, let me just bring up my banner real quick. Are you holding yourself back so that others can shine? So, yes, we want to debunk that myth that you need to stand in the background or you need to dim your light so you don't take the spotlight away from others. No, we're saying that why not stand amongst the one that is wants to be in the forefront, that wants to get the shine, so that you can all come together and shine together as one and really light up that space, light up that room in which you are in. So, yes, this is our topic for today. And we just talked about some of the different feelings or inadequacies that many people might feel for themselves when they feel like they're in a position where they might be outshining someone else. So they take a step back so they don't have to feel like they're overshadowing the person that wants to be the spotlight, so to speak, in the room, right? All right, so now when we talk about dimming the light or stepping to the background, so we're not the person in the spotlight, so to speak. When you position yourself, when you move from that place where you are being called upon, people want to hear your perspective. They want to see what you bring to the table. They want to see the light that you actually bring. But if you feel like you're in a place where it's not your turn, it's not your time, or you're not good enough to fill or fulfill that purpose, then you might feel like if you want to take that back step and be to the background, because you might feel within yourself that you're not adequate enough, or you're not good enough, or you haven't reached that plateau or that level. No, God has gifted you with your own individual gifts. Each and every one of us has our own creative gifts that can never be taken away from us unless we stop using them. And that's what happens when people start to dim their own light by going to the background because they don't want to be in the spotlight. There's a time and place for everything. And when you are called upon to let your light shine, it's not about you. It's about that gift from God in which He has given unto you, so that He may shine and He shall get the glory. So take yourself out of the equation if that's what you're worried about. Just have it glorify God in anything in all that you do. Let Him get the shine because it all comes back to Him regardless, right? So that's how you need to look at it if you feel like you don't want to be in the forefront for yourself. No, let God get the glory. You're just standing in that place so that God may be glorified. Amen. Amen. So when we put ourselves to the background, or we don't allow ourselves to be in that place where we can really shine and let the world see all of the different gifts that we have to offer, you're doing yourself a big disservice. And this is the first step in starting to self-sabotage yourself. And, I've seen a lot of people do it, and it is more prevalent than we may think. You know, a lot of people think that fear is the greatest deterrent when it comes to having success. But what if I was to tell you that a lot of times it isn't actually a fear of success that limits a lot of people, and that helps them to get comfortable in staying in the background as well, because they have that fear, that unconscious, that subconscious fear of success. And there's something that has been embedded with them from a younger age. Maybe they've seen something happen to another family member or someone that they admired, and they fell into problems as an adult. And it all stemmed from having that success at a very young age. And that just was an imprint left on their life. And now they're having reservations upon feeling, do I really want to have that type of success? Because I might end up that same way. So this are some of the things that we have to look out for, and we have to prevent ourselves from self-sabotaging ourselves. So now we're talking about the different roles that we play. So are you playing small so that others can feel big? There are people walking around each and every day with unused gifts, untapped potential, ideas, so much creativity. They have great ability to be great leaders, and they don't access it. Why? Because they are worried about people who are going to say, what they're going to think. And a lot of the times, these thoughts are not even the actuality. They're just things that they have pent up in their minds as to how people are going to respond and react to them. But in actuality, it is not really the truth. So we need to eliminate some of these thoughts. And just like I said earlier, we need to put ourselves in a position where we can remove ourselves out of the equation. Put it in the hands of God. Let God be at the forefront. He should always be. You're just the vessel that He is using, utilizing your gifts, which He has given unto you. So let them shine. Let them shine ever so brightly. And when it comes that time for you, your spouse, your significant other, your partner, whatever the case may be, whenever that time comes for you guys to shine together, then come together and shine as one. That is what it's really all about. A unified light that will shine so brightly that it can never be denied. Just like the city on the hill that can never be hidden, neither can the light of the Lord, as those giftings that He has given unto you can never be diminished, and never let anyone try to dim your light, and never dim your light on your own free will. Yes, 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 yes. All right, so let's talk about having that confidence, confidence in yourself. That is so, so important when it comes to letting your giftings show. All right, so you can be confident internally while still behaving small externally. So, what does that mean? You have that quiet confidence about yourself, but it doesn't show up in your body language, your facial expressions, and how you carry yourselves. You still have that shyness, that meekness about you, but deep down inside, you know you are able, and you are willing, you have what it takes to accomplish anything that is presented before you. But it just takes someone or something to pull it out of you, somebody to really push you, to propel you to that place in which you should be. Pull out your full potential. We all need that at some point in times in our lives, because we can't see it for ourselves. We only can act upon what we are seeing from others, and what we are hearing from others in the form of their critiques of our doings. But when you really have someone in your corner that's going to really uh, help you to exude your true giftings and potential, they're just going to pull it out of you. And it's just going to flow naturally. And then everything is just going to start to fall into place, because that is God's gift in which He has given unto you. And it is untapped potential that must be explored. Yes. All right. So we have a couple more comments. So let me go to them real quick. Okay. All right. So we have Sandra Salmon. I think I do hold back myself. Okay. Sandra, if you can expand upon that, in which ways do you feel as if you are holding yourself back? And Sister Robin Trotman said that's true. Okay. Blessing, sis. So does Sister Yvette. Okay. Bless you. Okay. All right. So Sister Salmon says, sometimes it may not be so, but a lot of the time it's a fact. People make you feel less than you are. Yes, so true. So that's why we really can't listen to public opinion. We have to, first of all, find our strength in the Lord. You have to meditate, you have to pray, and seek the approval of God. That is the only one you need to seek approval from, not from man, because man will always fail you. So when we are so inclined to the ears, to the words of man, we put ourselves in trouble, because they're going to sway like the weather, right? Sometimes it's going to be good, and sometimes it's going to be bad, depending on their emotional state. So we can't depend on that. we have to know for ourselves. And that comes back to having that inner confidence within yourself and knowing who you are and whose you are. You are a child of God. And He is always going to put you in the position to have you shine in the best of lights. So you must take that light and let God illuminate through you, use you as a vessel that can impart unto others. All right. Yes. By feeling rejected. Yes. Yeah. So that's like I was saying, we can't go by what man says because they're going to be like the weather. They're going to change daily. So we don't really need to put much stock into what man says when it comes to how they feel about you or how they accept or reject what you are doing. You have to know within yourself. You have to take it to God in prayer and say, God, I put this before you. Give me guidance and direction. Show me the path in which you want me to take, and then just await your confirmation, and the rest will take care of itself. Oh, okay, Pastor Averill. Okay, bless you, Pastor. Bless you, bless you. All right, thank you so much. All right, thank you for clarifying that. Yes, God bless you. So yes, we all feel that way at some point in times in our lives. We're looking for um, that support. We're looking for uh, that comfort, for that acceptance. But we're human. So that is one of the flaws that we have, but we just have to have that inner belief, that trust within ourselves, and just that faith and trust in God. So He will provide the way. He will make a way. So we don't have to depend on the thoughts and the words of man, because He will always fail us. Speaking about man now, man will always fail us, but God will always show us the way. So yes, thank you all for all of those comments. Yes. All right, so let's take it a little bit deeper now. So, where do some of these thoughts come from? Or these thoughts of um, holding yourself back so that others can shine? Why would someone intentionally suppress their own potential? Why? Because of fear of rejection. And that's just what Pastor Salmon just said, fear of rejection. Some people subconsciously believe, if I become too successful, people won't relate to me anymore. Hmm. And this is also true. Like the Notorious Big says, he's a famous rapper. He passed away a couple of years ago. But in one of his songs, he said, with more money comes more problems. And a lot of people have that mindset and belief when it comes to success. And that's why some people end up self sabotaging themselves, because they don't want to have those experiences when it comes to more problems when they become more successful, right? And so there's also the fear of losing friends, family connections, and other relationships, because people can tend to grow apart, right? If they're not climbing up together, then there's going to be a separation, and um, the more they go in different directions or on different levels, right? The bigger that gap becomes. And then there's, just great separation within the relationship, because they're not climbing and building together. They're not shining that light as one to make it a bright shining force, right? There's one at the forefront shining and one in the background that's scared to share their light because they don't want to take away from the one in the forefront. But like I said in the beginning, why not come together and shine brighter than ever when you're unified as one? So, yes, these are just some of the things that we really need to take a deeper look into when it comes to making sure that we're complementing one another and not competing against one another, because that's defeating the whole process. Then you're becoming counterproductive. If you're ever feeling like you're competing with your spouse or significant other, then no, you're totally missing the game. You're totally missing the point. And then you're going to have problems within your relationship because it's like you're competing against one another to see who can get the most shine, and you should never feel as if that is what your position is or what you're trying to achieve. So yeah, that is not a good situation to be in. Yes, yes, yes. All right, let me see if we have a couple more comments in here. Okay. All right. Yes, our mindset. Yes, most definitely. Most definitely. Yes, that is so true. So, yes, we have to change our mindset and our belief when it comes to these type of things, and we're not feeling like we're in a competition with one another. It should never be so. We're trying to uplift, inspire, and encourage one another so that we can all elevate and shine together as one. So, yes, family, yes, yes, yes. That is pretty much our topic of discussion for today. Yes, I hope something was said today that encouraged your heart, encouraged your spirit, and gave you a different outlook or different perspective on how we should feel when it comes to letting our light shine and never feeling like we're in a place where we have to diminish our light or go be in the background so that we don't take some of the shine away from our significant other or someone in our workspace or someone in a business relationship, whatever the case may be. You should never feel like you're going to take away from that person just by being in their presence. No, you should feel like you're going to be a great compliment to them because you're all working together for the same goal and objective, to be a brighter light, to lead others, and to help them achieve and reach their goals. So, yes, family, I just want to say thank you all for joining us and being a part of the discussion for today. And thank you so much, for all of your comments and feedback and sharing some of your experiences. This is a very touchy subject, but I'm glad that some of you have taken the time to respond and share some of your experiences and some things you have felt over the time and through the years when it comes to this particular topic. And I hope that we all can have some takeaways from this and we can use it to better ourselves, better our relationships, and better our goals and achievements when it comes to working together as one to make sure that God is always glorified through us, through the vessel that He chooses to use when we step to the forefront and let His light shine through us. So, once again, my name is Rob McCray from the Business Building Network. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us this evening. And if you have not already done so, please be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is What's Holding You Back Now. As you can see it scrolling across the bottom of your screen, as we are also on my Facebook page and on my personal YouTube channel as well. So yes, we are here every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. I hope to see you for the next episode of What's Holding You Back. So have a wonderful night, and I will see you next week. God bless.
What's holding you back? Holding you back from touching the sky. What's holding you back? You gotta fly like an eagle high. What's holding you back? Holding you back from touching the sky. Oh, holding you back. You finally gotta reach for the sky. I was born to succeed, not to be a spoken and real. Told myself there's more to this than just waking up when I feel. So I made a commitment to turn my earnings up. Couldn't see myself as an employee that still couldn't. Looked in the mirror, saw a spark in my eye. Knew I had to hustle and stop living a lie. I packed my dreams in a suitcase, took the first train. I'm headed for the horizon with success is no doubt. What's holding you back? Holding you back from touching the sky. What's holding you back? You gotta fly like an eagle and go high. What's holding you back? Holding you back from touching the sky. Oh, holding you back. You finally gotta reach for the sky.